So, what's up guys? Badger here with another build video for you guys. This is one of my HAZ protection builds that I put together. And I improved it a lot. And it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. I'm still in the process of making this work. And I thought I'll showcase this to you guys. So, for those of you guys that want to get a well-balanced PvP build and have a fighting chance, because not everybody has the contractor gloves, not everybody has the Overlord knee pads. And what I wanted to make a hazard protection build where you can fight those guys that like to run seeker mines and stinger hives, or trauma on the chest plate to cause you to bleed, you know, with the pestilence. All that stuff hurts. It hits hard, especially with the state of PvP right now. Like, time to kill is really bad. PvP is really not enjoyable as much as it was in the last patch in this one. Excuse me. So, I wanted to put a build together that can give you enough survivability and enough DPS to fight these guys that are running cheese. So, the specialist that I'm using is the demolition specialist. And the reason I'm using the demolition specialist is because you get increased burn resistance by 20%. That's really good. That's really good, guys. 20% is a lot, especially since it's so hard to stack HAZ protection or burn resistance or bleed resistance in this patch, because we don't have the actual perfectly insulated mask that we had in the last patch. They reworked that and changed that. So let's get into my mask. As you can see, the Hollow Man mask, this was the perfectly insulated mask. They changed that. It comes with 21% damage to armor, right? So weapon choice, we forgot to do that. Weapon choice, I'm using the Eagle Bearer, by the way. You do not have to use an Eagle Bearer, but if you have it, definitely go for it, right? Or run the Pestilence. It's entirely up to you, because the majority of the weapons that you're going to come across in the Dark Zone are going to be EBs, the Pestilence, or standard Honey Badger, or AKM, or Banshee. It's all your preference, or all your preference. Choose whatever you want to go for. It's all entirely up to you. For my secondary weapon, I'm using the Baker Dozen, which you're definitely going to come across a lot of those, a lot of rifles in the Dark Zone or in Conflict. You're going to face those rifle builds non-stop because they're so easy to kill. It requires no work, but so many players run cheese with those builds where they'll be long range and tossing a stinger hive at you and throwing seeker mines after that. So they're bleeding you and then hitting you with a seeker mine and shooting you with a rifle. And if you get close to them, they pull out a shield. So they're hiding behind fear because they're crippling themselves, because that's how people play. And I don't mind that. You play how you play. That's entirely up to you, but I will never play like that. So, which is why I got the rifle. So you got your AR for close range and you got your rifle for long range battles, because that's what Dark Zone and Conflict is right now. Long range battles. You get up close, it depends on whoever has the most cheese, which is seeker mines and stingers and shield. Alright, so for my mask, as I already told you guys, I'm running the Hollow Man mask with 21% health, damage to health. Really good. Comes in handy, I tell you. I know I could be using my Coyote mask, but it also depends on what I'm doing, the situation, getting that buff from the Coyote mask, which is really good, getting that extra critical hit damage, so, and critical hit chance. And it's not bad, I tell you. So, but we don't need it since we're running Obliterate right now. So we're running Gila, as you can see, Gila Guard, Chestplate, getting that 5% total armor, of course, and we wrote critical hit chance here, and we got that blue mod. Now I know a lot of you guys are probably asking me, why aren't you using your Fenris Chestplate with Unbreakable? Well, the reason I'm not using it, I wish I could, but I recalibrated this vest already, and it had like max HAZ protection and max weapon damage, which is really good. I wish I can use this, but I need that blue mod slot, and I can't roll that, unfortunately, so I'm looking for another Fenris. So as soon as I get another Fenris, I'll use Unbreakable and put that extra burn resistance, for that mod slot, and then HAZ protection, of course. So if I can find another god roll like this, I'll do that instead. But for now, we're using this. Even so, with this one, doesn't even have HAZ protection, it has health on it, of course. So there's so much we can do if we find the right pieces. But it's not all the way perfect, but it's good enough. Right? So as you can see my mod there, I got a 9% burn resistance. I'm using the Obliterate, of course, which critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds. Stacks up to 15 times. So really good to use. It's not bad, especially in those close range battles. It comes in handy. For my holster, I'm using the new exotic holster, the Imperial Dynasty, which is really good. And I got lucky with this one because my first one was really bad. This one, as you can see, I got max has protection, which goes great on this build, and I got the Dragon's Glare. While in combat, applies burn to the enemy closest to you within 20 meters. The cooldown's like 40 seconds, but it seems like it's just that 40-second cooldown is always going fast as hell. So, and I kind of like this holster too because it also, I use it as a pulse. Whenever I see that dragon stuff goes off and somebody's hiding, I know someone's near me. I don't know exactly where they are, but I know they're on the way towards me and they're on fire, and chances are I'll find them before they find me because they're on fire. So this comes in handy when somebody's trying to run up on you or when you're trying to run up on somebody. It comes in handy. If you don't have it, you don't have to use it. You can use any holster that you want. It's your preference, your choice, all up to you. If you don't have that, like if I didn't have that holster, I'll use this one for the 5% extra weapon damage. Because I do have a max roll of 10% there for more has protection, as you guys can see. So if I put this on, they'll be good too. But I prefer to catch players on fire that are running cheese if I get close to them. Alright, so for my knee pads, as you can see, I'm running Cheska. I'm running 2-piece Cheska. And this is a really good Cheska that I had. It was like God roll. But I don't have max has protection here, which is what I roll. So I'm still looking for that max has protection for knee pads. Hopefully I'll find it soon. But I got that 9.6%, which is still good. So it's not bad, but it's not the best. So, and that comes in handy. I got weapon damage there. I got headshot damage there too. And that, as you can see, for the brand set of Cheska, you get the critical hit chance 10% for the 1-piece, and then the 2-piece you get an additional has protection, which is why I'm running 2, just to get that has and that crit, a little bit of crit. So for my gloves, as you guys can see, pretty much in the same boat. Max weapon damage. I wrote max crit hit damage on here, which is really good, and got 9.5% hash protection. Definitely good. Wish I can find a God roll one, but like I said, I never do. I never find God rolls. It takes time to find God rolls, I tell you. And I know a lot of you guys are probably like, why are you not using the contractor gloves? Because I didn't want to, and this is a has protection build, so I was trying to stack enough has protection on the build so I can get benefit, because I can get the damage elsewhere. Even though that 11% damage to armor is good, but I still can get that weapon damage and damage to armor without putting on these gloves. But if you have them, definitely go for it, man. Like before, I'm still looking for another pair. Before I had that 12% crit hit damage, because I do use these gloves on another build, I wrote hash protection there. But since I use these gloves on another build, I just didn't bother to roll them, and I found other gloves where I can do that. So definitely why. And then on top of that, with the 2-piece Cheska, like I said, I get that has protection for the equipping the 2-piece. Now for my backpack, as you guys can see, I'm using Golden Gear backpack, even though it gives me the 10% status effect. The only reason I'm using this, not for the status effect, but even though that status effect comes in handy since I'm running an Imperial Dynasty holster, but I'm mainly using this for vigilance, and I do have like hash protection on this backpack. The reason I like running vigilance compared to anything else is because vigilance gives you 25% damage, weapon damage. Like everything else is like, what, companion is like when you are within 5 meters of an ally or skill, total weapon damage is increased by 15. That's 15. You got what, wicked is like 18. You got, where is it, composure is like 15. You know, like vigilance, it's giving you 25% damage, and it's like 4 seconds. It's 4 seconds, which is really good. You know, you can just run around the circle, boom, 4 seconds up, and you just fire again. And chances are you're gonna hit them with that 25% damage before they hit you. So let's get over here to my stats really quickly. So let's scroll down here, show you guys really quickly. So before we go back up, so like I told you, I'm sitting at like 61% has protection, so 61.2%. And as my bleed, I'm sitting at 70.8% bleed resistance. And blind and deaf resistance, and then my burn resistance, as you can see, really good. So many dudes like to hit me with the fire starter chem launcher. Like, it's crazy how I'm not blowing up in huge flames because I'm nearly at 100% burn resistance. I'm nearly there, and I'm trying to see how far I can push this. I want to get this one to 100, and I want to get this one to at least 80. I'm gonna try to see what I can do if I can keep finding the correct pieces. This resistance up a little bit higher. So if I can do it right, I'll probably get this up to has protection up to 70, bleed up to 80, and then burn resistance up to 100, and that's gonna be really good for me. For my weapons, as you can see, Mega Barrel, I'm sitting at weapon M76, you know, and then PvP is like 52, of course. 32.6% critical hit chance, and my crit hit damage is at 67.2%, of course. And then for my Baker Dozen, so you guys can see that too, which is not bad. Not bad for not running like any rifle pieces. It still get the job done, especially with time to kill not being the best in this game, where it's so fast where you can literally sneeze on somebody and kill them, unfortunately. Alright, let's scroll here. So all weapon damage is 32.4%, and my assault rifle damage is 27%. So, you know, like I said, this is not a all pure DPS build, but it has enough damage on the build where you can dish out damage. Like, this build is great, and if you choose to make this build it around your playstyle. Build it around your playstyle if you make this build. Trust me, because I don't want anybody to try to build it around mine. Build it around yours when you're creating it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the build video. Like I said, I hope you didn't mind the clips from me showcasing throughout this what the build can do. But I hope you guys enjoy. This is Badger signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Be breezy. I'm out.